he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
You make me happy. Thank you all for watching the Habitual Line Steppers podcast. I am Garrett Charles Langley Henson.
I'm Terry Ricardo DeShazo II. We're back, baby.
The deuce is loose, and y'all are back with us for another great episode. Terry, in the last week, we have seen players moving in all sports all over the world. We're going to tell you who went where, who fits with whom, and how to make sense of it all. Let's start off, Terry, with the NBA. Last time we chatted, it was a couple hours right after the NBA free agency deadline opened. We saw a flurry of moves that we discussed. We heard Kevin Durant put it in a trade request. We were thinking, what is it going to take? DeAndre Ayton in 2 picks? Jaylen Brown in a pick? Well, the Minnesota Timberwolves may not have gotten that memo, Terry, because they traded 5 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert just hours after we finished the last pod. Moving Karl Anthony Towns, who was an all-NBA center, out of his preferred position into power forward. Moving a couple complimentary pieces to Utah, but really it's all about the draft compensation. Terry, let me ask you this. Did Danny Ainge just pull off another heist?
I don't know, man. It's a tough one for me. Because on one end, you got probably one of the softer centers in the league, not Rudy Gobert. I'm talking about Karl Anthony Towns. So I think in a way they made it to the second round. So, no, wait. They played Memphis. I'm lying. So basically, it seemed like in a way your boy Cat was kind of getting bitched by Steven Adams, but still productive at the same way. So it's a little weird. I don't know. Like, it's like he was getting points, but also getting out rebounded by like 20, So it's like Minnesota needs another big body. But then on the other end, it's like, you're going to give Rudy Gobert like $40 million when he's 36 or some shit? Like, I don't even remember.
No, Terry. 47. 47.
Jesus Christ.
The Utah Jazz just
right?
34. That's when his contract runs out. The Timberwolves just paid 5 first-round picks for the privilege of paying a 34-year-old center $47 million a year who can't stay on the floor in the playoffs. So let me ask you this. When they run into Luka Doncic or Steph Curry or John Morant, what the fuck are they going to do with these two stiffs?
$40 million is going to be sitting on the bench. I can tell you that. So I don't know. It's weird, bro, because like they did need another big body. Like they needed another big body, but I feel like you got the wrong big body. The price tag is too much. I don't care what anybody says. Like they gave up way too much. I think you needed a backup center, not a fucking $50 million center. Like especially him. His name is just tarnished with all of the garbage centers of all time. So it's just really tough. But at the same time, he's an NBA Hall of Famer, bro. So it's like, what are we going to do? He's a Hall of Famer. Don't look at me like that.
Terry, I know I'm wearing a hat that says I love Jesus. I'm going to need Jesus if you keep calling Rudy Gobert a Hall of Famer. But you know what? Mitch Richmond made it in. So who's to say?
And he played for France too, bro. Come on now.
He did. The Stifle Tower has moved all the way from Paris to Minnesota. What a drop off. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this, man? It's very weird, bro. It's a lot.
I hate this trade for the Timberwolves. I think this is so stupid. I think the Jazz fleeced them bad. This is going to be another trade that sets the Timberwolves back a decade plus. You just guaranteed you're not going to win a championship in the next 10 years. For sure. You might as well go ahead and move the team to Mexico or put 2 in Sacramento and see if we can get one decent one out of it. First of all, let's talk about the fit on offense. Now you're moving Karl Anthony Towns out of the paint. He's going to be a catch and shoot guy, playing the 3. You basically just took one of the most accomplished offensive players in the world and just turn him into like a 3-point catch and shoot guy. Like Rashard Lewis is what you just turned Karl Anthony Towns into. There's going to be no room to post up on the block. That's over. I don't know what you think Gobert is going to be doing during that time, but whoever's his man is going to be doubling Karl Anthony Towns and forcing the ball to rotate. It fucks up all their spacing. Like, and then defensively, now if you thought Karl Anthony Towns is bad protecting the rim, wait till you see him try to guard on the perimeter. I mean, this guy, a stiff does not begin to describe it. And when we talked about Karl Anthony Towns and the pre-draft shit, who are all the comps, Terry? Who's he been compared to most in his NBA career?
Karl Anthony Towns? Who?
Anthony Davis.
Ugh.
Much like Anthony Davis.
Cool. Fine. Let's
you
compare him to
his
someone
big ass out behind the 3-point line instead
let's
of
compare him to
punishing
someone
mismatches.
that's like 4 years older than him. Yeah. Hey, you know who he looks like? Someone that's still in the league right now. He looks exactly like that. Like, come on, brother. They're almost the same. Get out of here. Anyways, look.
It's that same soft mentality. Either way, you just trade a ton. You just trade a half decade worth of assets so you can move your best player out of position and pay a guy who's not going to be on the floor the last 2 minutes of crucial playoff games $50 million a season. Congratulations. Can't wait till Anthony Edwards demands a trade in 3 seasons.
It's not happening. It's not happening. How old is Anthony Edwards, by the way? 21? 20? We got time. You know, the big one for me, honestly, and I know it doesn't make sense money-wise, they should have got rid of D'Lo in this shit, bro. You should have snuck D'Lo out of there somehow and, like, gotten Jordan Clarkson or some shit. Like, this guy D'Lo, the defense is gone. It's not there. He shoots too many shots, and he's not that good at passing anymore for some reason. I don't know what the fuck's going on. His turnovers are crazy as well. You should have snuck him out of there. Even if you would have snuck him in.
The reason they kept him, Terry, is because he's still a good pick and roll player. And they're betting that Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, or excuse me, Gobert and D'Angelo Russell are going to be a potent vertical spacing combo with Russell's ability to shoot and Gobert's ability to pressure the rim.
Hey, man.
Out of regular set, he's like, honestly, he's the opposite of Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball cannot play pick and roll and facilitate the ball, but when he's the second guy, he always makes the right pass. He's a perfect hockey passer. D'Angelo Russell can run the pick and roll and can only make the Kobe pass when he draws 2 and kicks to the wide open guy. But if you give him the ball swinging it, he's shooting a bad shot. I promise you that.
Look, don't at me. Don't at me when I say this. But your boy Karl Anthony Towns has been shooting threes, so I'm not really worried about his fit with Rudy Gobert. If you've seen Karl Anthony Towns try to post up anyone in the last 5 years, it's not pretty. It is fucking absolutely horrible. Dude's not a great post-up player. He's weak as shit for some reason. I don't know why he's so goddamn weak. He's decently big. I don't get it at all. He needs to hit the gym. Secondly, I would say Rudy Gobert has the worst hands of anyone we've ever seen play basketball. I know people have been watching this throughout the years, so that's also a very strange one for this pick and roll shit. He's not the best lob.
I got to say, Kwame Brown has got to feel a little offended, Terry.
No, touche on that one. Touche on that one. And I don't know, man. I don't think it's that bad of a fit for these two guys. I think they fit perfectly together.
So let's say the fit is good, Terry. What seed are the Timberwolves next season?
I think they're winning 53 games.
What?
I think they're up there. Now keep it in mind. Keep in mind. Keep in mind. Keep in mind they are going to be a very regular season team. Playoffs, I don't know, man. We're going to have to figure this shit out. This 2-minute shit's going to be a problem. But we got all of the regular season to kind of figure out what we're going to do with this lineup. But to me, who's a coach? He needs to make a huge decision.
Chris Jenner.
He needs to make a huge decision. Because if it were up to me, I know you make all this money, but if you're not helping us win at the end, I got to take you out. You got to just go with the lineup that works the best, a la when James Harden sat his ass on the bench and the Rockets made that fantastic comeback against the Clippers. It's just going to be tough, man. I don't know, man. Gobert.
So 53 games, Terry.
Hey.
Is that the 3 seed in the West? Or the 2 seed? What is that? You think they're the second best team in all the West?
Nah. It's probably going to be around 3-4, I would say. 3-4-5. Just depending.
6,
I mean, the Nuggets
7, 8, 9, 10.
How many games did the Nuggets win last year? Like 49, 50, right?
48, I think.
They were like a 6 seed. Yeah, I think Minnesota could be a 3-4-5. I mean, you can talk yourself into them being really good for the regular season, and then also you can be like, all right, this shit's a train wreck, and they're garbage. I'm just thinking those two guys specifically, just Towns and Gobert, I think they fit together perfectly because Rudy Gobert does the shit that Towns doesn't want to do. And Towns can do shit that Rudy Gobert just can't do. So, I'm not going to sit here and say, it's not the Twin Towers. They're two tall guys. But your boy Towns is just not – he doesn't play like a big. He's not a traditional big. I don't even think he's a big at all. He's more of like a fucking KD type to me. Yeah. He's definitely not as good, but he shoots all perimeter shots pretty much, or the majority of his shots. If you watch the fucking play-in game last year, he couldn't even get inside of the paint. So everybody talking about this dude is like this post-up player. I'm not trying to hear that shit. Yeah. My man is straight up just a three-point shooter. It's fine. How many did he take last year a game? 9?
Like 8, 9 a game, something like that?
Yeah. I mean, he shoots threes.
But I tell you, he also got a lot of duck-ins on smaller players, mismatch post-ups and that type of shit.
Can still get
all
those.
That's out the window. No, you're not getting those no more. Gobert is now in that space. Gobert is now in that space lurking. I tell you what, I don't want to hear any of this Twin Towers talk either. They're going to be known as the Twin Funnel Cakes, watching these guys try to guard pick and rolls on the perimeter. Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns are going to be looking like they're playing a tag team game of Twister out there.
I don't know, man. I just think it's going to work. I think it's going to work for Minnesota.
And I think what is Rudy Gobert going to do on offense?
Same thing he's been doing in Utah for the past 7 or 8 years. He's been
catch dunks.
Not shit. Nothing.
The guy who shoots 30% after he takes one or more dribbles. That guy who's 7 feet tall.
He can't dribble, bro.
You remember when John Wall was talking about spoon feeding Marcin Gortat buckets? That's what the fuck Gobert has had for the last 6 years. Baby food.
Here's the thing. Do you think D'Angelo Russell's a better playmaker than Mike Conley? And do you think he's a better playmaker than Joe Ingles? I think they're all.
Yeah, I think he's better playmakers than all of them. I think he's better than all of them. He's a better passer than all those guys. Yeah, Mike Conley showed up to Utah wearing a Nick Batum mask.
Yeah, and look, with all due respect to Mike Conley, he was a good player, but when he went to Utah, he was no longer a really good player. So, sorry guys, we understand in the pantheon of things. I do think Mike Conley is better than D'Angelo Russell, prime to prime. But right now, in all of Mike Conley's career in Utah, D'Angelo Russell's better than him. And I think this is going to be perfect for Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about
Mike Conley should have went back to school. Shouldn't have came out with Greg Oden. Should have stayed all 4 years.
I don't know, man.
I think for all this money, they're going to be in the luxury tax for the next half a decade. They don't have any picks for the next half a decade. And they did all this so they could not even host a playoff series for the next half a decade. This is Josh Smith. This is Joe Johnson. This is the Treadmill Hawks. Congratulations. They'll do what they want. They wanted to make the playoffs. They haven't made the playoffs in 15 years. They wanted to have a shred of competency or whatever. They made a play-in and they haven't won a playoff series in 15 years.
They were close last year.
Yeah. They might get it done this year, but they know the ceiling. There's
no might. There's no might. If they don't get it done, coach is fired. We're trading. A lot of people are getting the fuck out of there. They have
right now. I would bet that they don't make it out the first round. If I had to bet right now, I'd bet that they do not win a playoff series.
They're a second round team with this roster, bro. Come on now. That's
teams that are better than them. Let's start up at the top. Teams that are better than them. The Warriors are better than them.
Yeah.
The Warriors are better than them. The Suns are better than them.
Debatable. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
The Mavericks are better than them.
Yeah.
The Pelicans are better than them.
4.
The Grizzlies are better than them.
5, debatable. I don't know. We saw the playoff series last year.
They beat them
in 7.
It didn't go 7, did it? The Grizzlies,
I think it went 7 or 6.
No, that was the play-in joint. They got waxed.
No.
You're thinking of the play-in game.
Hold on, I'll look it up. Keep going. So you got Memphis.
All right. After that, the Lakers could possibly back if they, pull this Russell Westbrook for Kyrie shit. They're absolutely back in contention. The Sacramento Kings with Sabonis, Fox, Kevin Huerter, all these guys look suddenly like a competent team. I'd be willing to bet they're around as good as the Timberwolves. Who else am I missing, Terry? I know I'm missing a couple people there. Oh, the Nuggets are returning Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
They're going to be better than they were last year.
Porter Jr. is debatable whether he's coming back. You're right. I mean, the West is looking stacked, but they took Memphis to 6. So it was a 6.
And OKC isn't going to suck dick anymore. They're not going to be a joke.
So it's not going to be a garbage West again?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's going to be like the Rockets trying to suck dick. And, everyone else is pretty much going for it.
All right, we'll see. Hey, don't get it twisted because the West was horrible last year. So we'll see. You are right, but also Anthony Davis being healthy, that's the thing we don't know. We don't know how Murray's going to look. That's also something we don't know coming back for the Nuggets.
But they both couldn't be worse than they were last year with Murray not playing and Anthony Davis playing how many games did he play? 45 games in a girdle?
Maybe. If that, dude. I don't even know if he played 40 games. But I will say this, too. The Clippers, you got to see what Kawhi and Paul George
Clippers,
look like.
Boom. That's the other one. They're going to be a top 4 team if they get Kawhi, PG back, add John Wall. Clippers are going to be a good-ass team.
But honestly, once you get – because legitimately, I'd say 5. Memphis is still better than them. But I'll give you those 5 teams that you said in the beginning. But once you get to those other ones, it's all health. And
you don't think the Clippers too? You don't think the Clippers are better than the Timberwolves if everyone's healthy?
Shit is health. Theirs is health related too, man. It's all iffy as fuck.
Hey,
these guys are fragile.
Are we sure that Minnesota is better than Portland after they get a healthy Dame, Jeremy Grant? They get what's his name back? The big Serbian white guy who's played center for them, who didn't play all last season.
Oh, Nurkic. Yeah.
Nurkic. Yeah, you get Nurkic back, you get Dame back, you add Jeremy Grant. Are we sure they're going to be worse than the Timberwolves?
On paper, the West looks great. But
who's
also
playing
on paper,
3 for the Timberwolves? Who's small forward for the Timberwolves?
Listen to me. I don't care who
No. You answer my question. They just traded their small forward away to the Brooklyn Nets. Who is their small forward? Else.
Get a 3-and-D. Get Covington
I'll tell you what it is. Jaden McDaniels, who they rejoiced about keeping in the Gobert trade like he was Anthony.
Shooting threes. He hit some threes last year. He played all right in the playoffs. Look.
He's 190 pounds soaking wet. He can't guard LeBron, Kawhi, Paul George, Luka, any of those guys. They don't have anyone on their team that can guard any of those guys.
We got it. Don't worry about it.
Same problem Utah had. It's the exact same problem Utah had. They got no wings that can guard. They just got a center to block shots at the rim.
Which wing do we have to guard? Who are we worried about?
LeBron, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Luka Doncic. Fuck, Andrew Wiggins.
No, stop it. LeBron is 37. He's fucking turning 38 this year. I haven't seen him do anything worthwhile except for score buckets on a winless fucking garbage Lakers team. Stop.
Second in the league in scoring. You still have to defend
Kawhi,
him.
He didn't. He played 55 games, so his shit was void. Null and void. Didn't even have a season, basically. His season just didn't matter. Basically, he's gone. Kawhi tore his ACL. Paul George got COVID right before a play-in game. He doesn't care about his career at all. That's like the worst.
Somebody sneezed on him.
Yeah, bro. Everyone wants to sweep that under the rug. There's no way that LeBron James, Michael Jordan, fucking any great player would get COVID right before a play-in game to make the playoffs. You got to be shitting me. You know your boy Paul George is out there in the streets. Dumbass. But anyways, he stays hurt. Those are your wings. Those boys right there. Luka, I'm legitimately worried about him. That's the only one. Luka, I don't think they got no answer for him. And also, Ja Morant.
What about Devin Booker?
Either.
What about Devin Booker? Who's guarding Devin Booker?
I don't know. We'll see how he plays next year. He didn't
Yeah,
play
exactly.
really well at the end.
Yeah, I'm not considering you as a contender or a legit team if you don't have a small forward on your roster that can start against the best teams.
Anthony Edwards can't guard Devin Booker?
He probably
He's
could.
only 6'5".
He probably could.
Here's my thing about the wings.
But that's the thing. If Anthony Edwards is guarding your best player, you're getting fucked because Anthony Edwards can't play defense.
I mean, come on. The free agency, we can't find somebody that's 6'7" that can just shoot and fucking run.
You just spent all your money into the luxury tax to get a 7-foot Waluigi. You ain't got no free agency space.
Hey,
you got. I'll tell you who you got. You got Torian Prince and you got Jaden McDaniels.
Hey,
make it work.
Sounds good to me. Go out there. You got 6 fouls. Run it up.
I never thought I'd see you caping for our Gobert team so hard. I thought you fucking hated this guy, and suddenly you're back on a bandwagon.
He's perfect for Karl Anthony Towns, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Look, listen. The only thing I know that I can do is put Rudy Gobert on the court, and he's going to play 75 games. I put Anthony Edwards on the court, he's playing 75 games. Towns is playing 70 games, and Anthony Edwards is playing fucking 70 games. Or D'Lo's playing 70 games. These dudes, if they stay on the court for 70 games straight, Minnesota's going to win 50 games. Like, that's a fucking given. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm sure those three guys are good enough that they'll have a 75% winning percentage, one of the greatest of all time.
We'll see.
I just don't buy it, Terry. But this is where the league is at, man. We're reloading, and they're stocking up, and it's an arms race. And people are trying to get as many of these guys as they can. And you saw the Celtics do that. Despite making the NBA Finals, despite pulling a trade for Derek White, 2 months before they go to the postseason, they recognized that they were still a piece away. And so they traded for Malcolm Brogdon. Now, talk about problems staying on the court, Terry. Malcolm Brogdon has played like 30 games in 4 years in Indiana.
Yeah.
He barely been on the field at all since he got his Rookie of the Year award with Milwaukee. But if he could stay healthy, what do you think Brogdon's impact on the Celtics could be next year? What's their ceiling with Brogdon?
Well, first of all, I would like to say if I played in Indiana, I would also only play 30 games out of a possible 200 or so. That's just first of all for me. I don't know. I mean, a guaranteed contract, I just like, I'm just not feeling it. Indiana's just not doing it for me. But Malcolm Brogdon going to Boston and relatively not giving up much on the other end from Boston. This is a great trade. I mean, what did we say all season, bro? These guys can't dribble for Boston. Marcus Smart's your point guard. It's going to inevitably bite you in your ass when it comes to the end of the season. And that's exactly what it did. So by them getting this primary ball handler and, someone that can play make without losing the ball consistently like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown did. Jason Tatum also putting up that 100 turnover. Shout out to him for the whole playoffs. Throw up the Will Chamberlain for him again. I love it, bro. It's a fantastic trade for them. And I think Boston is going to be, once again, another team that you need to look out for. I think they're the favorites. Adding this, I think they're the favorites, bro. It's a fantastic trade. But that being said, Al Horford's another year older, so we'll see how he kind of plays throughout the season. But I like this pickup, man. It's a good one.
I agree with you, man. I think, if he stays healthy, the Celtics should be a championship contender, especially to come out of the East. Look, we talked, like you said, about them not being able to dribble. Even more over than that, the Celtics desperately needed an adult in the room just to calm everyone down and be like, no, Jaylen Brown, you're not dribbling into traffic and getting ripped. No, Jason Tatum, you're not going to speed this up too fast and go dribble into two people and make a turnover. I'm going to slow the pace down. I'm going to get you guys into the spots where you can score the ball comfortably, and I'm going to be an adult running this offense. And Malcolm Brogdon, his nickname as a rookie is the Senator. He's a guy who's known for his mature demeanor. He's always been a guy who set the table for others. Won Rookie of the Year despite being an old rookie. Like, this is him.
24.
He's the adult in the room, and he's here to calm these guys down and tell Marcus Smart to take a chill pill and tell Derek White to believe himself and tell Jason Tatum to take the horse blinders off. I think it's a fantastic trade for them. And he fits hand in glove with their toughness and, their defensive IQ, all that stuff.
Size.
The question is, can he stay healthy? And if he can, the Celtics are going back to the conference finals at least.
Yeah, I think they're the favorites for sure, man. I mean, this guy, turnover ratio alone, he's 3-1. He's a 3-1 guy. This guy's a fucking beast, bro. I like him. But you're right. We are kind of worried about health these days with these NBA players, man. A lot of people are fragile, but if he takes this offseason serious, gets his body in serious shape, sky's the limit for the Boston team, bro.
Can we take a minute to talk about a team that, if Boston is putting all of its chips into the middle, talk about a team that has an MVP that has done nothing to improve their team over the last 2 seasons? In the Milwaukee Bucks, what is the plan in Milwaukee, Terry? They win a championship. They're like, yeah, we'll just run with Wesley Matthews and Grayson Allen as our starters on the wings. That'll get it done. We'll get a chip next year with that. Obviously, it doesn't happen. Like, I picked them before last season to win the championship. They may have the worst collection of wings in the entire NBA. What the fuck are the Milwaukee Bucks doing?
I mean, they need one more person. Those 2 names alone, the Grayson Allen and Wesley Matthews, that's not a recipe for, a championship team.
Pat Connaughton.
Yeah. But, how do we feel, with Middleton not being injured? Like, they're not definitely, but we say they're probably beating the Celtics, right?
I thought
with
so.
Healthy
but
Chris?
Celtics just got better. Hawks just got better. Sixers just got better. Every team.
Hey, don't try to sneak the Hawks in there like that.
Why not? We were playing them in the conference finals 2 years ago. I don't see why not. We're on the same trajectory.
Anyways. Yeah.
Either way, the rest of the league got better, and they've gotten worse. They haven't done anything to improve their team. In fact, they've been, replacing guys who contributed in championships. Like P.J. Tucker replaced them with Jordan Nwora, Serge Ibaka. What the fuck are they doing? For a championship-level team that has 3 All-Stars, the Bucks have more scrubs on their roster than any team in the league.
Nah, the PJ Tucker thing was big for them. They shouldn't have lost him. They didn't try to get him. They didn't try to sign him. He said that. PJ Tucker said that straight up. He was like, yeah, they let me go out in the open market. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. You must have forgot what I did for you. You must have forgot if I wasn't guarding KD, he would have scored 70. But, no big deal. I'm just out here doing the same thing I did, year after year with the fucking Heat back in the conference finals again. This dude has played in so many conference finals in the last 7 years. I mean, you got to sign PJ Tucker. You're going straight to the conference finals. Give yourself a chance. But, no.
We'll run it back with Pat Connaughton and Wesley Matthews. No, that's our path to the championship.
Yeah,
Milwaukee.
And they gave away – it seems like it's weird because they gave away Brogdon. They seemingly gave away DiVincenzo as well. And I don't know, man. But with that being said, though, they were still that Chris Middleton injury away from kind of going back. So I don't think it was a bad decision, but they needed someone a step above the 3 guys that they had in those positions. So you are right.
They're a guy like the Kings made that trade for Kevin Huerter, basically giving away 2 second-round picks. Why don't the Bucks make that trade? It's inexcusable. Kevin Huerter on the Bucks is instantly, you guys, he's an upgrade over every guy you have. I just think it's malpractice what's going on in Milwaukee right now. They're coasting on the coattails of winning that chip. They're like, oh, man, we did it. Well, you know what? It's 2 years later, okay? It's time to stop popping champagne bottles and start retooling your team because I'm sick of seeing all these whites out here.
Nah, you're right, man, because especially when you got a talent like Giannis, you don't want to waste it, bro. You got Giannis Antetokounmpo, 27 years old. From 27 to 30, this is prime, bro. You need to get him somebody out there to help.
You should be doing like the Celtics and the Timberwolves, putting your chips in the middle.
You have to. You have to, bro. And like you said, the league is getting better. A lot of teams are adding a lot more talent, I mean, I know all the contracts and stuff, the league is trying to make it a little harder for you to get, 3 guys at the top and then have a shit team behind you. You kind of can't do that. I feel like 1 through 12, just the top players, everybody's really fucking good. The top 12 players in the NBA, it's a lot closer than what it used to be between MJ and fucking Clyde Drexler. You know what I'm saying? This shit, LeBron, he's still there with like Doncic, Giannis, KD. Like AD's still really good when he's fucking disgusting. It's a lot of good players, bro. This is lovely, man. I'm glad.
Parity is back. Parity is back. The talent is back. And Terry, we're getting our first glimpse at some of the NBA's newest wave of talent in the Summer League. Going down in Las Vegas this week, we got our first look at the top picks: Chet Holmgren, Paolo Banchero, Jabari Smith, Jaden Ivey, and what's the kid out there in Sacramento? What's his name? Keegan Murray?
Oh, yeah. I don't really know him that well, but yeah, the other guys are good.
The guy they took over Ivy, he's dropped 25 points 2 times in Summer League. Looks like a decent player. Yeah. Who's impressed you the most from Vegas Summer League, Terry? Who stood out to you?
Who stood out to me the most? Russell Westbrook. He actually stood out to me the most.
No, Terry, don't stop. Let the people know. Let them behind the curtain.
Hey, look, your boy Westbrook was out there at the Summer League on the Lakers bench, like staying with a team that knows they want to get rid of his ass, but he's out there cheering the boys on after every bucket, looking like an assistant coach out there on the court. LeBron wouldn't even say hi to him. He was like, "Yeah, no, I see you over there. I'm not. We're getting rid of you, buddy. We're done with that shit."
They sat on opposite sides of the court from each other, staring at each other the entire game. Never said hello. All the other Lakers came to say hi. Juan Toscano Anderson came to say hi. Timothy Horton Tucker came to say hi.
Yeah. That was an interesting move. I like that from Westbrook, though. But, they're trying to get rid of him. I don't think they can. But anyways, just me joking around. I think Chet Holmgren looked pretty fucking good. Your boy Jabari. Not Jabari. Well, Jabari looked okay. But I feel like Banchero ate his lunch when they played each other the first game. Banchero looked really
if anything, that was like confirmation for Magic. Like, it's a good thing we changed our mind at the last instant. Yeah, we almost took a guy at number 1 that can't dribble and isn't aggressive. We almost took.
Jabari's a little too casual for me. A little too casual. Like I will say, all the top picks, they look a lot better than everyone else that's on the court. I will say that. And also, I think my biggest takeaway: Josh Giddey does not need to be in the Summer League. This kid is really good, and they need to go ahead and shut that down. Like, OKC has their starting 5 on the court, and I'm just like, yo, what are we? This is not even fair.
I honestly think, fair, Terry, that the Rockets and the Thunder's Summer League team from this year would beat their actual NBA team from last season. I'm dead ass serious. They're putting a more competitive product on the floor in Summer League. Josh Giddey is definitely too good. He's one of those guys that you see after 2 games and you're like, all right, we've seen enough. We're getting nothing out of this besides really him possibly getting injured.
Yeah.
Chet, like you said, man. Yeah, I love the way Chet has played so far. He's just like the most intriguing to watch. You look at Paolo Banchero, and it's like just the stuff that I said when he got taken number 1. He looks like the type of guy that we're used to seeing dominate the NBA. He's 6'10", he's 260 pounds. He's bigger than 90% of centers in the NBA, and he's bringing the ball up the court and is a good passer. Mm-hmm. So we kind of knew he was going to be good. But Chet, he's 2 buckets of paint. That's all he weighs. And we were like, how is he going to respond to the NBA level of physicality? And we've seen him in his first game. He had 6 blocks, broke the Summer League record. He was like, yeah, I'm coming out tomorrow to break it again. Didn't break it. He got it taken to him by, I forget who it was, Kenny Lofton Jr. Kenny Lofton Jr. Fucking took it into his chest, went right to him, played through the contact, was physical, and kind of exposed some of those pre-draft concerns from Chet. But his combination of you see him get the rebound, grab and go, cross behind the back, pull up 3. I'm like, God damn, that looks like white Kevin Durant to me. I'm not saying he's Kevin Durant, but there are some things at how he moves and his ball handling ability that I'm like, I think we may have shortchanged this guy a little bit, and it looks like he's going to be pretty good pretty early.
No, yeah, I definitely think he's going to be good. He does look a lot smaller than in college. Like, all these guys have NBA bodies that are in the Summer League, so he does look a lot smaller. But he's not kind of letting that get to him. He's playing really fucking well. besides being so fucking small. Matt McGlung looks good for the Warriors.
He does.
I don't think he's going to end up on their roster, but he looks pretty good. He might find himself a spot on somebody else's team. Yeah. Kuminga looked like he was, almost ready to not be in this summer league. He's really fucking good. He played pretty well.
I don't know about that. He had a really rough game. He was like 2 for 10. I don't know about that. He played like shit.
You didn't see the other game? He scored 28 in the other joint.
The second game?
Amazing in that game.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're just taking turns. Moses Moody went off in the first. You say Kuminga played well. James Wiseman made his long-anticipated return to basketball. He blocked a couple shots.
Very low expectations.
Very
low expectations. Man.
Extremely low expectations.
Just play hard. We're
not asking you to be better than LaMelo Ball. All we're asking, can you be 18-year-old Bismack Biyombo? Can you do that?
Yeah. Besides that, everybody looks good at the top. You know what, though?
Hey, Jaden Ivey, he looks like he's playing a different sport than everybody. He looks so fast. Like, this is my first time really seeing him besides the YouTube highlights. My God, he's fast.
No, he's good, man. He's really fucking good.
Like, people don't understand. He's immediately a top 3 athletic guard in the whole NBA.
Yeah.
Like, it's him,
did you see,
it's Ja, and it's Anthony Edwards. That's the list.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. No, this kid is athletic as fuck. But we saw it in college, though. He's a beast.
But now he has the space. You know what I'm saying? With the shooters around him, he can actually get downhill more. He's not all clogged up, but he's 7-foot stiffs hanging out in the fucking paint.
College, man. They gotta give me a defensive 3 seconds, bro. They gotta give me a defensive 3 seconds, bro. That shit's ridiculous, man. If you want that to be the next step up to go to the NBA, I mean, I know, and I only know it's probably like 3% of them go to the NBA, possibly throughout all of college basketball. And it's probably even a lower percentage than that, but you got to give me a defensive 3 seconds. I'm tired of these zones where some fucking Taco Fall almost beat Zion in college because he could just
I remember that shit. That was ridiculous.
Golly. But anyways, besides that,
and put in the NBA shot clock. If you're going to be changing college rules, put the 24-second shot clock in instead of the 35 where I just watch these guys pass the ball around for fucking 30 seconds before anything happens.
I think I'm good with 30 because some of these other teams are so bad. I don't even want to see them shoot that many times in the game.
Well, you know what? Go ahead and lose 40-75. That's good with me. I don't care. I'm not watching anyway.
That's fine. Did you see Mark Williams play for the Hornets? I didn't see the Hornets play at all.
No,
that's the only team I
mean, Steve Clifford is the coach, so he won't be playing much this year regardless. This summer league is probably an early sneak preview of the Hornets where they played JT Thor over him despite drafting him in the lottery.
Yeah.
You better hope the Warriors don't sign a Plumlee or a Zeller or like one of these guys because Mark Williams is going to be playing for the Greensboro Swarm before you know
it. Real fucking quick. But hey, the only other thing I'll say is I think Ben Carroll looks like he's been worthy of this number 1 pick. I've heard a lot of shit from a lot of media guys that I like and that I respect in the game that were questioning this guy's motor, that were questioning his skill, his defensive ability. Only one name, Bomani. Bomani Jones, my boy. He thought Ben Carroll wasn't good enough. I don't get it, Bomani. What the fuck? Why you hating? You came from North Carolina. I don't like this hate.
I told you, man. It's the Carmelo stink. The Carmelo stink. And who was the last guy who got compared to Carmelo Anthony? And this is the real stink that's on him.
Wow, that's the trivia question. I don't know who.
Hold on. Also played at Duke. Similar body type.
Oh, Jabari Parker.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
I think the Jabari Parker stink is heavy on Paulo Banchero. I think people are so nervous because they saw Jabari pan out so poorly. But Banchero is a much better passer. He's a smarter player, a willing defender, if not a talented one. At least he's not going to get bowled over in the post. I don't see him turn out like Jabari.
Well, the thing about Jabari was he played like he was 6'10", but I think he was 6'7", maybe 6'8".
I thought he was 6'8".
Very strong. Yeah. His athletic ability was absolute trash. He couldn't really jump that high. And then by the time it was just his 5th year in the league, he tore both his ACLs. So it's kind of got the shit end of the stick. When he was healthy, he looked like a decent, promising kid. So I don't want to put too much stank on him, but it's just athleticism and power and strength kind of matters when you get to the league, dude. So
yeah, and also being able to pass at 6'10" matters. Like that unlocks shit for your offense. That those are passes, and you can do things that the Hawks can't do with Trae Young at 6 feet.
No, that's true. And also, this is a different day and age. You can't lie about your height anymore. Like, your height is what your height is. Like he was out there saying he was like 6'9", 6'10", and then when he got to the league, they were like, "You're 6'8", 215? I thought you were bigger than that." All right, whatever, you know.
It's better than Shabazz Muhammad, who lied about his age. He was actually 23 when he got drafted in the NBA. Fucking reclassifying so you could play against 8th graders when you're a senior in high school.
Yeah, that was crazy. No disrespect to my African brothers, but that's some African shit right there.
Hey, he was on the hunt for a better situation, Terry. And you know who else was? Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield this week was traded to the Carolina Panthers for a 5th-round pick. They split his salary. The former number 1 pick, the first guy to win a playoff game in Cleveland in 25 years. They sent him out the back door with the dirt and the turned up cockroaches and the petrified pieces of pasta. And now he comes to home with the Carolina Panthers, who are already paying Sam Darnold $18 million to play quarterback, who just drafted Matt Corral in the 2nd round. Terry, what if I'm a Panthers fan? What do I make of all this? Who's going to be their starter come September?
Sheesh, it better be Baker Mayfield. I'll tell you that. If you can take the fucking Cleveland Browns to the playoffs and actually win a game, you got something special inside of you. Now, I think everybody's kind of giving him some shit, but I think it's well-deserved shit that he deserves for especially acting very immature in Cleveland, talking way too much trash about probably one of the better receivers you'll ever play with in Odell Beckham, like shitting on him for no reason. Dude literally was just a hardworking kid, and all of a sudden he's just like, yeah, I don't like this guy. I'm going to start throwing it to Jarvis Landry, who's probably not even going to be top 300 all-time in receivers, but no big deal. And then also the injuries. He was hurt like shit last year. He looked really bad last year, but it's like he tore his shoulder, not in his throwing shoulder, but he tore his left shoulder or whatever. Got his motion, his fall fucked up, man. It was a difficult year for him last year, but he put a lot of it on himself. So I can't say that if Sam Darnold beats you out for this job, I don't want to hear nothing about you. You're the next Johnny Manziel to me. Get your ass up to Canada and shut up. I'm done with it. He has to be the starter, and that's it. Especially coming off surgery and fully healthy. Baker Mayfield, you have to be the starter, bro. You have to. It's not even a question. Not even a question. And the Panthers fucked up by paying Sam Darnold anyways in the first place. So this shouldn't even be a discussion. Like, Sam Darnold is horrible. We saw him play. Cam Newton came out of retirement and sitting at home doing nothing. They overpaid Cam Newton for half a season to come and play games.
You think if Sam Darnold beats out Baker Mayfield, we'll still have to watch him in every other commercial?
I don't know.
The backup quarterback for the worst team in the NFL is doing nonstop underwear and progressive commercials and shit. State Farm.
Ridiculous, man.
He's posing with tigers on top of a Rolls Royce with his fucking draws out.
Hey, honestly, though, I'm proud of the Panthers for doing something. I'm actually proud of the Panthers for doing something. Because, honestly, we're a small-town team in the eyes of the NFL. It's a big-town move from these boys right here, to be honest with you, bro. I don't think anyone else wanted him, but I like the name. We got a big name down here in Carolina. Besides Cam Newton, of course. That was the biggest name we ever had. Steve Smith Sr. as well. But we got a white boy. Old Baker Mayfield down here now. Let's see what we can do with him.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
Terry, you know what would make me smile? If Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold enters the season as a starter. He gets hurt inevitably week 5, like we know he's going to, because he runs the ball too much. He gets hit by a gigantic linebacker, crumples his chest. Baker Mayfield steps in, leads the Carolina Panthers to the playoffs, wins a playoff game. And then it's free.
I say the Carolina Plantations.
Is that what they're going to change their name to when they have all 3 white quarterbacks? Maybe if they have an all-white offensive line.
Everybody, I don't know, Matt Carroll.
Hold on, wait a minute. They did just draft Ike Ekwonu. So,
oh god,
I don't know if they drafted him or they bought him, but they acquired him somehow.
Bro. Hey, Matt Carroll's a little tan.
Either way,
He's
Terry,
a little too tan.
How happy it would make me if Baker Mayfield brought this moribund, shitty franchise to the playoffs and then left in free agency the next summer, got the bag from somebody else and said, thanks for letting me prove myself, Carolina. I'm going to go win in Seattle.
Oh, man.
Have fun with Matt Corral and Sam Darnold, you fucks.
To be honest, though, I could see that happening, not just because Baker was leaving. It's because the owner for the Panthers is cheap. He's super cheap. I don't think if Baker Mayfield turns out to be really good, there's no scenario in my head where I see this guy paying Baker Mayfield any sort of money.
Hey, I'm making a wild prediction, but I'm putting it on wax now before the season even starts. Baker Mayfield, a year from now, will be the starting quarterback for the New York Giants.
Okay. All right.
He's going to take the Panthers back. He's going to rehab some of his value. They're going to realize that Daniel Jones can't hold on to the fucking football, and they are not going to be able to wait to pay $100 million to a former Heisman Trophy winner. And Baker Mayfield is going to get to go to the biggest media market in America.
So that means that the Panthers are going to have some success with this Baker Mayfield kid, huh? What do you think is going to happen with this guy?
They'll lose in a wild card game.
Do you think the Panthers are going to make the playoffs?
I think Baker, this is just what would make me happy. I think the Panthers are actually going to suck. They'll probably be the worst team in the division.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Matt Rule will probably be fired by week 8. But if it goes the other way and if they have success, do you see Baker sticking around in Carolina?
It's up to if they want to pay him. If he plays well, he's going to ask for stupid money. He's cocky.
Yeah.
One of the cockiest.
He's going to be an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah. I don't think the Panthers can retain this kid, to be honest with you. After a successful season, I don't think so.
So as a Falcons fan, I love this move because there's no downside. If they win, they lose Baker Mayfield, or they suck like they always do.
Yeah. I think they'll I don't think he's smart per se, but if he were to use his head, he would realize that no other team wanted him except for the Panthers. This was, the Steelers were talking about getting him, but I don't know if that was actually realistic. They really wanted him for so cheap, it wasn't possible. I think the Panthers were the only team that wanted him. If he actually used his head, he'd be like, all right, this team actually wanted me. I'll stay here, no matter if the price is reasonable. Because I don't see them paying him $30 million. I don't see them paying him 22. I don't know, man. That's tough for me, bro. But his ego is insane. His ego is insane. And I get it because honestly,
walked on to 2 teams, planted the flag right in Oklahoma's face, all that shit, or Texas A&M.
The Cleveland Browns, after they moved from Baltimore and then got the Cleveland Browns back again in the 90s, the worst sports franchise running. It's not even I think they've only had 3 winning seasons. They had a combined 17 different quarterbacks, or probably even more than that, maybe 30 or some shit. I don't even know. I remember when I saw it, it's fucking stupid, and that was back in 2008. They're we've started 47 different quarterbacks. When you're worse than the Washington football team, the Washington Guardians or the Commanders or whatever the fuck you want to call them, you're a bad team, bro, because they've been bad for years. And with your boy Snyder out there fucking it up and also assaulting women as usual per Deshaun Watson. But I don't know. I think Baker Mayfield's ego is too big for him to have a decent season and then stay here for not what he thinks he deserves. That's it.
If I'm going to be honest, I have legitimate questions about if he's even going to be good.
He might not be.
If I really had to trust my gut, I'm going to say he sucks.
Ooh.
Terry, wait a minute. I'm about to go deeper into the box score here. All right. We're about to give you the next gen stats. All right. Stat that. Hashtag stat that. All right. Next gen stats.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, out of qualifying quarterbacks who threw at least 200 passes last season, or excuse me, the last 2 seasons, ranked 33rd out of 35 quarterbacks in the last 2 minutes of games and on third down.
Okay, he's horrible. I mean,
he threw twice as many interceptions in the fourth quarter as the next leading player in the last
2 seasons, just the last
twice
2?
as many picks in the fourth quarter. For a guy who won the Heisman Trophy, he's been the opposite of clutch and has proved it over and over and over again in the NFL. I don't see that changing with him throwing to Robbie Anderson, who tweeted out, "No!" before the Panthers signed Baker Mayfield. Or with DJ Moore as his number one receiver, who's better as a running back with a ball in his hands. I don't see that changing in Carolina. It's going to be a rough season for the Sir Purr fans.
Honestly, bro, I think if we get rid of last season alone by itself and we just talk about the first 3, I think he's a decent quarterback. Last year is just a really horrible season for him, bro. That injury really fucked him up. I don't know exactly when it happened during the season, but after that, he looked like a complete shell of a man. Not even a quarterback, just a person in general. He looked like shit. He looked like he didn't know how to play football anymore. And there was no backup to come in. And
I think he got a bit of Griezmann syndrome. I think he saw Joe Burrow like Griezmann saw Messi. And he was like, oh, now I don't know how to throw a slant anymore. He stole my whole vibe. He does it better than me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to compare like just that. To put any stat with that season last year in it is tough. Like his first 3 seasons, I think he was worthy of being a first round, maybe not like a number 1 draft pick, but like he was worthy of having like that first round name. I think he was really good, but you gotta show me what you've done lately, and that's pretty much how the league goes. So he's got another season to see what he can do.
Got to update that resume.
But this team sucks, so I don't think he's gonna do well. It's a bad O-line. Receiving core is trash. I don't think he's gonna do well. So. Sorry, brother. You might be out of here. You talk too much. If he shuts up for the whole season, he might get another job. But if he's cocky, he's out of here, bro.
Well, this is to my point, Terry. The Panthers, they're a little bit of criticism picking up Baker Mayfield, a white guy who's been purported to be acting black his whole career. Has got that criticism. He thinks he's black. The Denver Broncos just acquired a famous black figure that has often been criticized for acting white, Terry. Condoleezza Rice, who was famously given away by the blacks on Chappelle's Show in the racial draft, has now been added to the Denver Broncos ownership group. Out there in Denver with Russell saying, let's ride.
So she owns the team, all right? Majority owner?
No, she's a minority owner. I don't know how many shares she has, but she's definitely a minority owner.
Come on. That was too soft. That was a softball. I threw it up. You smacked that one out.
You did. That was T-ball. That was T-ball.
Is she a majority owner of the team, or is she just the small percentage owner of the team?
Nah, she's a small percentage owner. Owner. But
hey, look,
who's to say what impact she could have on this Denver Broncos franchise? As we talked about the NFL having an arms race, she has ends with Halliburton and Dick Cheney from all her days then. I don't know if she could hook the Broncos up with another wide receiver. Oh, man. I'm just happy to see Condoleezza Rice back in the news. The last time I heard of her, she was being compared to a Mexican dish. I'm just thrilled that old girl is back in the spotlight.
Hey, man, this is cool to have. I think she's probably the only black woman to get a team, because I think Buffalo has a Asian woman that owns the team or whatever. But I think she's
Terry,
majority owner.
I just realized I'm a piece of shit. 2 ways.
What?
2 ways. This is a double whammy.
You forgot about that.
Oh, no, I forgot about something worse. The Raiders just hired the first female president of all time, and she's a young black woman. It's the first black president of the NFL team, and the first female president of the NFL team. I left it off the rundown. I wasn't even going to talk about it. Terry, I am not an ally anymore. I have lost my
Hey, look,
card.
it's fine. We'll put that in the note. Garrett is no longer an ally. It's totally fine. It's all good.
I love
but honestly,
Jesus
bro,
now.
like we will. I mean, just to get serious for 7 seconds, it is one day we won't even like talk about this as like news. It'll just be a thing. So hopefully that happens. But it's cool that Condoleezza is a minority owner though. That's dope as fuck.
Yep.
It's random as hell.
Shouts to you, Becky Hammond. Anyways, moving across the pond to the other football, the football that we grew up playing, Terry. Guys have been on the move. Teams are switching things up. Teams can't wait to get rid of their star player they acquired last year for $100 million and get a new guy for $100 million. Yep. We've already seen Lukaku got shipped back to Inter Milan. Yep. Raphinha has demanded a trade or whatever, a buyout from Leeds. It looks like he's going to Barcelona. Christian Pulisic is on the move after Chelsea just signed Raheem Sterling. Gabriel Jesus left Man City for Arsenal. Matthias de Ligt left Juve for Bayern.
Oh. That's not confirmed. Is that confirmed?
Yeah, it's confirmed.
He's gone?
He's gone.
Ooh,
Chris
Bayern
Richards,
Munich.
you better be looking for a new home.
Yeah, the lit is a world class at 22. That's tough.
And then
that's tough as fuck.
Your team, Terry, Manchester City, bring in two guys, Marc Cucurella and Kalvin Phillips. So out of all those names I named, who's most interesting to you? Whose switch do you want to talk about first?
Also, duly noted that Ronaldo wants to get the fuck out of Man U.
Oh, there we go. That's the big one. Cristiano Ronaldo has demanded a trade from Manchester United.
And then I think we already talked about Pogba going to Juve. That's a good one for them. But I don't know. It's weird. The Juve de Ligt thing is weird for me because he was supposed to be the guy to be with them for the next 12 years and all that and bloopity blop bullshit. And all of a sudden he's just gone. Going to Germany, going to Bayern Munich. And then Bayern's going to say the same thing. He's our next defender for the next 11 years.
He probably will be there, though.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't work out at Juventus. Like, is there like a strategic type talk that like why he didn't work out with these guys over at Juve? Like, he was really good at Ajax. He looked good in the preseason for Juve. Looked good in the first couple, games when they started playing. It also did seem like it was like an elder statesman thing where, like, I think he wanted to play more games, and they were like, nah, we still got these guys here. We're going to play Chiellini over you a couple games. We're going to play Buccini or Bonucci over you and all that. So, Buccini. But yeah, I don't know, man.
This is it, boy. Buccini, let's get lit, boy.
I don't know. That's a weird one for me.
I'm gonna go Bill Simmons on that one. Why it didn't work. I think it was like a fit thing, like a personality thing. He wanted to be the captain, the guy giving the orders. Like, he's a leader, not a follower. And then you put him to follow Chiellini and follow Bonucci. And he was like, I don't really know how to do this. Like, I need to go have my own team. I think that's more probably what it was like than like any on-field stuff, to be honest.
Possibly. I mean, shit, kid, you're 20. He's like 20, 21. Be a fucking kid.
But he was like captain of Ajax at like 18. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he was the best player there. When you go to Juve, you're not going to be the best player on Juve. You're a really good player, but you went to a team where the guy's fucking nickname is the captain. Like, Chiellini's nickname is the captain. Like, you're not going to be the fucking captain. He's 35. He won World Cups. He won Euros. You have to listen.
If it's not Chiellini, it'll be Bonucci. If it's not Bonucci, we'll bring back Buffon and we'll give it to him. Like,
come on, bro. Whatever.
He's going to be good at Bayern, though. Bayern, they picked up Sadio Mane, too. They picked up de Ligt. Couple under-the-radar moves for guys that are already world-class players. They're not out here like Barcelona and Manchester City spend $200 million to pick these guys up. They're getting them from like $30 million each.
They got to do it that way, though. They got to do it that way. But, they poach every single person in Germany, so it doesn't really matter. I kind of like that they got someone not who played for Dortmund or not that played for like Red Bull Leipzig, get someone else and stop drowning your league and making it garbage. That being said, hopefully he's good. Raheem Sterling going to Chelsea. Very strange, random move. I don't know how I feel about it because Raheem Sterling scored 150 goals for Manchester City. He was a great player for us. Seemed to choke in the big games. Very similar to Tony Romo. Very similar to a Dak Prescott. Very similar to a man that you know well. Trae Young. Big choker. No, I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, that's why they were at fucking concerts in New York City and they're chanting "fuck Trae Young" at a Locks concert, living rent free in your heads. He's such a choker. Yeah. Go ahead, Terry.
No, I'm just playing. Yeah, the Raheem move is very fucking strange. Honestly, the bigger one for me was Mane leaving Liverpool. You called that one. We didn't really talk about that much, but you called that one of them were leaving. I couldn't believe they just gave him away because Mane was really good for them for years, bro. Like. I mean, him and Salah, you were like, who's the best player on the team? We don't know. Between them and Van Dijk. Come on, bro. That's tough. That's tough to lose Mane straight up. All the other moves, whatever. City, whoever they sign, they're going to end up being okay. First season, you never know because playing for Pep is tough.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Rewind. Pondy replay. All right. Your boy, Raheem Sterling. You watched him for the last 5 years at Manchester City.
He's good.
What is Chelsea getting back?
You're getting a great rotational player that doesn't complain. He's not going to complain about not playing. He won't, be overly happy if he's sitting on the bench. He'll do his job. He gets on the field.
If you want a guy who's going to be a good teammate who runs around off the ball and misses tap-ins, you could have just played Werner.
No, he's better than Werner, bro. I don't think he's not like peak Werner. I think it's probably better than Sterling. But Sterling is consistent. Like he's going to get you at least like 15 to 20 goals in a season and create a lot of chances. Like he's a hardworking dude, bro. I really like him. He's a good, solid rotational player. Sterling is a fantastic guy. I'm kind of sad to see him go because he was good for us. I mean, he did choke a couple ones, but he's not a big game guy. That's fine. We played him in all the other games. He did well. Play him in a big game? No big games for you, buddy. No big game. Good luck, Chelsea. Because you got some big games coming up. You're going to lose them all if you play that motherfucker.
Right. Congratulations.
That's all I'm saying.
Now, this surely means
swear to God,
that... Yeah, go ahead.
If he makes a tap-in versus City in like a fucking pivotal game, I'm going to... Oh, my God. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it, bro. I'm going to lose my mind, bro. God.
I swear to God,
anyways, go ahead.
Dude, don't have him, when he gets to Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel, don't have him train with the rest of the team. Just set up a jugs machine that shoots balls into the 6-yard box and have him do that for the entire preseason camp. All right? When he comes back better, that'll be a way better addition than anything else he could have done. Surely, Terry, this means for Pulisic that he's gone. I mean, he was already the odd man out before. Every time he plays well. Then he gets hurt. Then he can't get back in the team. His, expected goals and assists per match are higher than any player on their entire team. And yet, couldn't find consistent minutes at Chelsea. Now, if you listen to the Habitual Line Steppers podcast, we warned you of this 2 years ago when he signed for Chelsea. 3 years ago. Yeah, we knew this was going to happen. We knew he wasn't going to get consistent minutes. This now opens the door for him to find a better spot elsewhere. And the guy you mentioned earlier, Terry, El Capitan, Giorgio Chiellini, mentioned on air 2 days ago that he'd be an ideal fit in Juventus. So, where would you like to see Pulisic go? 1. And 2, do you see him as being a good fit at Juve?
I think he would be a good fit in Italy, per se. I think that league kind of fits him perfectly. Juve being the team, I don't know. I understand that, like, you want your top players to play at, like, top teams and shit like that. But, like, I feel like at a certain point in time, like, these guys need to understand when you go to these teams, you're always going to be fighting for the job. Just because solely alone on your American talent, they're just going to be like, all right, I don't think they're, like, the best. And, it may be true. It may not be true. In his case, I think he's really, really fucking good. But injuries have kind of derailed his career as far as like starting consistently, throughout a season. For me, I'd like to see him go to like a middle table team, just so I know that like he's always going to play. Like I feel like he had his most fun at Dortmund, and then all of a sudden, he kind of got hurt again and he lost his spot. I'd love for him to play for like a team that's fighting for Champions League, on a third, fourth kind of basis. Like Arsenal, I feel like would be good for him, but he ended up going to Chelsea. Juve, maybe, but I'd like to see him go to like fucking Napoli or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to see him go to one of those teams.
Terry, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I'd like to see him be the best player on the team again, especially as an American fan, and like seeing how that would translate to the Stars and Stripes. I'd love to watch him go to a team like you said that's fighting for a Champions League place, a team like Napoli, a team like Atalanta, a team like Sevilla, Real Betis, Real Sociedad, Leicester. These are the type of teams. Games. Yeah.
Just ask Zach Steffen about how hard it is.
Although I do think he could start for Juve. I do. But it's like you said, you got to be able to withstand the criticism and the Italian press and everything over there too. And like you have one bad game and they're going to fucking hate you and they're going to whistle at you and they're going to act like you suck. And you have to be prepared to deal with that because that's part and parcel of playing for one of the 10 best teams in the world. And it was a jump too big to go to Chelsea. I think we can all agree that now in retrospect. The changing of managers multiple times didn't help him either. All that type of stuff, switching formations, injuries. The number one thing he's got to do for his next team is get continuity and consistency and find a team where he can be the main guy night in and night out. And so I totally agree with you. I think Napoli, Atalanta, Sassuolo, Sevilla, Real Sociedad,
Roma, even Roma.
And I thought Arsenal was a good pick. I think he'd be a good addition too. He wouldn't be the best player, but he'd certainly start is on Tottenham. Him, Son, and Harry Kane could be a dynamic front three. And if I were Tottenham, I'd probably do whatever I could to get him. So
and see, the thing for me is like I'm not saying he doesn't have the talent to be the best player for Juve. I don't want people to get it misconstrued of what I'm saying. The thing I'm saying is like when you go to Juve, you got to understand you're not Ronaldo, you're not Messi, you're not like Mbappe per se, right? So like these top three guys in our era now, Ronaldo's kind of fading, Messi's fading, but like Juve is always going to look for the next person that's going to be the great winger or the great striker. They're always going to look to have someone fight at that position. Even if you're really good, they're still going to be looking to fight. Like if you're not scoring 50 a game, they're going to look to find someone that can do that shit. That's just who Juventus is, and they're always going to do that. So when you go to those top teams, they're always going to do that every single year. But if you're, you don't want to also get comfortable, but at the same time, you want to play in games. Like Zach Steffen was a promising player, but he hasn't played in more than 20 games in the last couple of years. Now he looks like shit when he comes to America and plays for USA. Like your boy, the goalie that plays for I can't remember. It was a Champions League. It's a Champions League team. The goalie, I can't even remember his name, Horvath or whatever, right?
Oh yeah, Ethan Horvath.
Yeah, he looked fantastic when he played with that team. But the goalie in front of him is really fucking good. He's going to play in front of him all the time. So when he plays for the USA, he plays like shit. If you don't get consistent minutes in for your club team, you can't just turn it on when you come to USA. That's not how it works. You have to play consistently. So don't always go looking for these top one, best teams in the league. Look for a place where you're going to play all the time. Like McKinney got lucky. He went to Juve at a downtime. And now he's still getting consistent minutes because he consistently played and showed that he's well, established in that Italian league. So I would just say look for a place where you think you can play, man. Don't worry about like the name of the team. Like I understand it's like huge. And even look at Sergiño Dest, bro. I mean, he looks like shit. Barcelona kind of kicked him to the curb and now he doesn't look the same. Like I would have loved for him to stay at Ajax. Would have been totally fine if he stayed at Ajax. Like he was getting consistent minutes and he looked like an absolute beast. One of the best young players of all time. Not all time, but like in our young generation at this time. Like he looked good.
He was on the Golden Boy shortlist for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. That's all I'm saying. He's got the talent, but
let's talk about a team that is acquiring American talent, that's building the foundation of their team with Americans, that's in the English Premier League in Leeds United. They just bought Brendan Aronson for $25 million from Leipzig. They also double dipped for Tyler Adams, acquiring him from Roma. Acquiring two of America's top 5 players, in the Premier League. This is not something we've seen before. What do you think of Leeds' prospects next season, and do you think this is a good move for our boys in stripes?
I think it's exactly what I was saying. I think Leeds is like a perfect team to kind of go to kind of get your footing in. You know, if you
now they narrowly escaped relegation last year. I do want to add that they fired their coach Marcelo Bielsa in the middle of the season and replaced him with another American in Jesse Marsch, who had just been fired from RB Leipzig.
Yeah, I mean, once you are kind of at the bottom, it's kind of hard to come back. Like soccer is just kind of built that way, you know. But I think Leeds is kind of a good situation if you just want to play, get your minutes in, and then when you play for America, it's fine. Because personally, I don't give a fuck if Leeds gets relegated all the way down to the Coca-Cola champion. Like I don't care. That's not. You
don't want our two of our best players in the Premier League.
No, I'm just saying that's not my priority. I just want them to play and be fucking ready to play for USA. Now, once the season's over again for Leeds, go to another team. Switch it up until you can stay at the top, but you don't have to play for like Man City to like be recognized as a top talent. That's no longer a priority, bro. You don't have to play for Barcelona. You don't have to play for Real Madrid. Like we've already proven we can play in Europe. You don't have to play for these top teams all the time. Just play in the league, get your minutes, keep it moving.
Yeah.
Just play well for the USA.
Well, it could be an interesting wrinkle that they develop over there at Leeds because apparently they signed Aronson to be a center midfielder to play in a double pivot along with Adams. So that's cool. Something that we saw in one game in the Stars and Stripes, the latest one. I forget who it was against, but they sucked ass. So I didn't really take much from it. It was probably Granada or something like that. But two Americans making big moves. Pulisic is about to be the third on the move this summer. USA is on the way up, trajecting north right before the World Cup starts. I like it.
Yeah. We'll see what Zach Steffen does, though. I'm worried about our boy.
Yeah. Well, we're not just sending Americans to England, Terry. We're also taking premier European talent, and we're bringing them back to America. Just this week, we saw the captain Chiellini sign with LAFC. Gareth Bale, 5-time Champions League winner for Real Madrid, joins them there. And this morning, it was announced that Wayne Rooney is returning to DC United to coach the team.
Love it. Love it. I want to hear you on this. He was one of your favorite players. What do you think about this move? Wayne Rooney coming back to DC United, a former team of his.
He gave us the best moment in MLS history where he chased down that dude and slide tackled him, then played a 70-yard long ball for a game-winning assist.
No, that was dope. That was dope.
He's going to inject some passion into the club for sure. Some tactical new that wasn't there before. I will say, if you've looked at his recent record, I wouldn't be that thrilled if I was a DC United fan that he was a player coach from Derby who got them relegated. And then he had got fired at the end of the season, had dressing room stuff, off the pitch stuff with his family and wife that was apparently pretty ugly.
Oh, really? Golly.
Yeah, you know how those British tabloids are, man. They don't have a Hollywood over there. All they do is fuck with soccer players. So
true.
Maybe coming over here will give him a break from that. But if I'm a DC United fan, I'm super excited because the most important person in the history of our franchise, say Freddie Adu, has returned. For the other guys, I mean, LAFC, you motherfuckers better not lose to Carlos Vela. You got Gareth Bale and Chiellini now? I want to hear no excuses. Y'all should be the best team in the MLS by far.
I thought, does Vela play for LAFC? I thought he played for LAFC.
I thought he played for the other one, the Galaxy. Does he play for LAFC?
Nah, that's Chicharito.
Oh, shit. That's so they got the three of them. They better run through the goddamn league. And first of all, LAFC, they're spending their 3 designated player slots on 3 actual superstars. Carlos Vela, who's an MLS superstar, Chiellini, who was a global superstar, and Gareth Bale, who's a global superstar. Meanwhile, Atlanta United are signing 18-year-olds from the second Argentinian league as their designated players, and these guys aren't playing 22 games a season.
Why are they even designated players? Just because they came from not America?
Because we're paying them more. Because everyone wants to find the next Miguel Almiron that they can pluck out of some shitty team in South America, then sell to Newcastle for $30 million.
Jesus.
And they know that there's no resale value on these old guys.
No, there's not. I mean, but damn, why don't we try to grow the league and just keep the guys? How about that? Just try and keep him. Try and keep him. Unless, bro, I'm keeping these motherfuckers and trying to pay them stupid money. Unless someone tries to get him for about 50 mil. Why would I ever get rid of Almiron? Almiron was an absolute beast. He was a main contributor of why y'all won the title. Why would I ever want to give him up? I'm not. Like, you got to pay me 50. Price tag is crazy for me to give him up. Because, of course, if you pay him like $3 million, he's like, oh, shit, a lot of money. You know, I'm from Paraguay. I don't give a fuck. Like, come on, bro. Like, how much is Newcastle paying him? Like, 500,000, 750, maybe $1 million.
I don't know.
Who knows? Like, come on. Get out of here, bro. And not to say he didn't play well at Newcastle, which I think he played okay, but you're not going to get the glory that you were getting in Atlanta. And where would you rather live? Atlanta or fucking Newcastle, England? Stop the cap. I ain't trying to hear that shit.
All I'm saying is, bro, I heard a lot of praise for Charlotte FC when they signed Christian Fuchs from Leicester City. I'm hearing a lot of negativity somehow about signing Giorgio Chiellini. What the fuck am I missing, Terry?
Chiellini is very old. Very, very fucking
Is he any older than your boy on Charlotte FC?
I think he's way older than him. Isn't Chiellini like 37?
Yeah. Isn't Christian Fuchs like 37 also? You look up Chiellini. I'll look
he
up
was like
Fuchs.
30. I thought he was like 30, bro.
Christian Fuchs? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Let me see.
How old
Let me
is
get the official. He's 36.
Oh, okay. All right. So they're close. They're close. When I saw Christian Fuchs, I wasn't excited. So you ain't talking to me.
But everyone's like, oh, they got a centered back that has experience winning the Premier League, blah, 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 proven player, international. This is a great signing. And then LAFC signs a dude who has 10 times his pedigree. And everyone's like, what are they doing? He's 36 years old.
Honestly, bro, it's only because we know Chiellini more. I don't even think people knew Christian Fuchs like that. They're just like, oh, we're getting some dude from England. Oh, I played for Leicester when they won the chip. Yeah, we know Chiellini's old as fuck, and everyone can look at him and tell he's like, oh, he's 50. Like, at least Christian Fuchs looks like he could be 30 years old. Like, he doesn't look 36. Chiellini, boy, he looks old as shit.
Yeah, he looked like he'd been smoking cigarettes at halftime for 20 years.
No, that's true, man. I don't know. I mean, it's so weird, too, like, watching Charlotte. Because when you go watch them live, and I even saw like an MLS article about it. Like, they are a top 5 boring team to watch, which is hilarious. But it's like, I mean, your top 8 in the Eastern Conference, you might make the playoffs this year. Do what you do, but understand, you got to put some excitement out there on that field, bro. Or you're going to find your ass out of Charlotte and in the Raleigh, baby. We're going to fucking snatch that shit up real quick.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they want excitement and fireworks in the MLS, then the only thing the Galaxy have to do is sign Luis Suarez. Let's bring back the biting duo and let them rehash that out in the Trafico every year.
Nah, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. But you know what, though? Honestly, with this Bale and Chiellini signing, I thought the MLS was done signing people over 35. Like, we're still doing that shit? I understand getting, like, Messi or Ronaldo, but Bale and Chiellini? Like, y'all can't sign some fucking Argentinian that's, like, 25 cooking it up down there? Come on now. They're old as shit.
This is what I was just talking about, man. You want a 25-year-old Argentinian that might not be good, or do you want a world-class player? The trick is blending the two. Like, it can't be an only retirement league where all the designated players are former stars from Europe. But it also can't be like we paid $10 million for every 17-year-old that plays for River Plate's first team. Like, it's got to be somewhere in the middle where you have an influx of young talent coming in as the older generation retires and comes out.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, but damn, we couldn't have got Raheem Sterling. You telling me Raheem Sterling couldn't have played for LAFC? Come on, bro. Stop. Get out of here.
Not in El Trafico. The guy who I thought that somebody should make a run at, or the two guys, are Marcelo and Danny Alves.
Marcelo would have been nice. He might be too slow for the MLS, though. I'm not going to lie.
Maybe. Danny Alves still got it, though.
Danny Alves is decent. He's decent. I don't know, but the MLS is crazy. bro, when you come over here with being really slow, it is tough as fuck. Because we might suck.
Ask Sebastian Schweinsteiger.
Yeah.
Who got fucking ran off the field. He got ran off the fild by Dax McCarty. I never thought I'd see that in my life.
That's tough.
He couldn't kick it with Kyle Beckerman.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say Pirlo got ran off the field, but he definitely was like, yo, like y'all just played fucking full field press the whole goddamn game. What the fuck? He's like, can I get 2 seconds on the ball? Like, damn. He still played pretty well, but like he was like, yo, I can't play here. This is horrible. I just can't do it.
In the words of Sebastian Giovinco, the MLS is not soccer. It's something else.
Hey, that's
well, guys, that was another amazing episode of the Habitual Line Steppers podcast. Of course, Terry's mic cut out on the end, so I couldn't hear anything he was saying. But I promise I'll be back next week to listen, and so will you. In the meantime, you can go to www.thehlspod.com to check out our clips, our podcast, my latest article on the Hawks. You could go to our Instagram at HLSPod and subscribe. We got our Twitter, putting out tweets. And, of course, like and subscribe on our YouTube video, how I know most of you are watching right now. We thank you for the support, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to our podcast this evening. Thank you. You're far too kind.